So this is Dr. Janet Painter. She is the daughter of Coach Painter, who took the LR football team to the national championship in 1960. So what did it take to be successful as far as taking a team to the national championship and winning?
From what I could discern over the years from talking to players and also my dad, I think it takes the belief that you can and also perseverance in terms of practicing constantly and not slacking off at all. But I think a lot of um, what happened to this particular team was when they began to believe that they could actually win the national championship, then they could turn it on and keep it going, you know?
Mhm.
So I would say that belief builds confidence, and that made a big difference for them. And my dad was part of that. I think he was very good at building confidence. He used to tell me that when I was in graduate school that it was like an endurance contest, and you had to just, make it through to the end. And I think you kind of saw the national championship that way. It was an endurance contest, you try to do the best you can to get all the way to the top.
So it sounds like he was very devoted. How devoted was your
Oh
father to the football program?
gosh. Oh, he was very devoted. He spent many, many hours in Schieffer Gym and on College Field. And when he was at home, he was watching films and reading playbooks. And, I think it really was part of the fabric of who he was, was to be a football coach, be a football player, and then a coach.
Do you know of any of his favorite coaching memories, by chance?
Well, definitely the 1960 championship was a favorite memory. I've heard the stories many, many times of them getting on the airplane to fly to the championship, and also the recruiting that he did to bring the athletes to Lenore Ride. And those are some favorite memories of his and my mother's. The stories of going to the homes of the men that he recruited here, and also keeping up with them afterwards. He was really big on relationships, and I think he made it a point of not only building relationship coming in, but also going out. And he was known for writing notes and letters and making phone calls to athletes after they even left LR. So he kept in touch with a lot of the 1960 group.
That's, that's exceptional. So what was it like to be the daughter of that famous coach?
Well, it's interesting because I was born shortly after the 1960 season. I was born in '63, and so everybody knew who he was around here. And so anywhere you went, to the grocery store, to a restaurant to eat, just about anywhere, somebody would come up and talk to him, and they would ask him questions, or they would talk to him about the upcoming team or what was happening. So I think it was great to have that kind of notoriety just locally, that people would know you. Um, Also, I think for me, uh, it gave me a sense of welcome when I came back to LR. I was a student here in the 1980s, but then when I went away to, begin my career, um, and then I came back, of course things were different. He had passed away by then, but there was a special welcome for me, and I attribute that partly to the fact that he was a success. It always brings me a lot of joy to um, meet the recipient of his scholarship. They have a scholarship luncheon every year. My mother and I go and meet the recipients of the Hanley Painter Scholarship, which came about from some of these players from the 1960s who wanted to honor him. Um, So that, and the golf tournament too is a big. It always makes me smile when we have the Haley Painter golf tournament every year at homecoming. That was a very important event for him. It didn't start out as to honor him, it started out, and it still does, honor all the athletes. And he really felt that that was an important thing. So, and it brought them together to have fun.
Your father sounds like he's an exceptional man.
He really was. He had a tremendous amount of dedication to the institution, but also to the game of football. And I don't know, he had a big personality. It's really interesting. If you met him when he entered a room, he got your attention right away. But you know, he brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. I know sometimes the athletes have stories about how hard he worked them and how difficult it was, and you know, the practices were tough. But I think he was the kind of coach, and he always instilled in me looking for this kind of coach too when I was playing as an athlete. Someone who gets in there with you, who doesn't just call the plays on the sidelines and say, go do this, but will teach you and be a part of your success, your team, you know, that they're there to do it with you. And I think that makes a big difference.
Well, thank you for elaborating on your father and all
Oh,
of his
you're
success
welcome.
here at the school.
Thank you for asking.